sitting for my team. I'm in green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow. Money green, yellow broad.
Aaron Rodgers MVP award. What's good with y'all? It's your boy Papa Evil back with another video, and had to bring that song out. It's a classic. We beat the Steelers, and whenever you beat the Steelers, that song just has to be played. That's just how it works. So yeah, man, this is gonna be my review on the Packers beating the Steelers 27-17 last week. I'm gonna level with y'all. This video might be a bit shorter because I didn't really watch the game. I was on the road like all Sunday evening, so I pretty much missed the whole game. So it's going to be some small analysis of the game based on the minuscule highlights that I watched. And it's mostly going to be like historical context of like the Packers and the Steelers, at least like since I've been a fan of them. Because, yeah, obviously other than the greatest day of my life as a sports fan, the Packers beating the Steelers in Super Bowl 45, wonderful day, we haven't really beat the Steelers that much over the years, which is unfortunate because I know a lot of Steelers fans. Like, a lot. Like, in my area, just for some reason, in the DMV area, there's just so many Steelers fans all over the place. I don't know if they moved down here or what it is, but there's just so many Steelers fans on here. When I was in elementary school, a few teachers in the school were big Steelers fans, and a few of my friends were Steelers fans. I go into middle school, my gym teacher was a Steelers fan, and I was actually in middle school while we beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl, so that was a fun year. And a few more of my friends are Steelers fans. High school, I meet more Steelers fans. In college, Steelers fans. There's just Steelers fans everywhere I go. So, yeah, you know, it's just, there's obviously like a mutual respect between the franchises. Like, both have so much historical success. The Steelers have won the most championships in the modern era. The Packers have won the most championships ever since the NFL friggin' started. So, both teams have been, you know, pretty much model franchises. Bunch of Hall of Fame players, bunch of Hall of Fame coaches. So, a lot of respect there. But, yeah, like I said, we don't beat the Steelers that often. In the 3 games that we played against them since I was a Packers fan, 2009, which is the year before we played them in the Super Bowl, was like this massive, thrilling game where Ben Roethlisberger hits Mike Wallace in the end zone on the last play of the game to win 37-36. So, you know, my Steelers friends let me know about that the next day. And then the next year, we beat them in the Super Bowl. A few years later, Aaron Rodgers gets injured that year in 2013 because we play the Steelers every 4 years due to the scheduling. We played them in 2013. Matt Flynn comes in. It's like, it's a close game late. He freaking fumbles the ball late. The Steelers go in and score, and we lose 38-31. Still ended up making the playoffs that year, and the Steelers didn't. Anyway, we ain't talking about that right now. 2017 comes. Again, a year Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. Brent Huntley comes in. He's matching Ben Roethlisberger throw for throw, but Antonio Brown had other ideas, and that's before Antonio Brown lost his mind. Back when he was still like an elite receiver, he makes some sick catch. They get a field goal late. So pretty much each time we play the Steelers that wasn't in the Super Bowl, it was like some late thrilling game that came down to the final play every single time. And all my friends that were Steelers fans just let me know about it. And, you know, you can only hang on that Super Bowl win for so long before you're just like, can we beat these guys at some point? And thankfully, this week was the week we did it. I will admit, going into this game, I was a little worried. Like, obviously, the Steelers had 2 very bad losses in the last few weeks. Ben Roethlisberger looking very old, not being able to push the ball down the field. Running game is poor, pass rush is poor, defense is poor. Everything looks real bad for the Steelers. But I just felt like with the Packers coming off an emotional win against San Fran, a team we obviously had history with, there was a concern, at least from my end of the spectrum, there was a concern that we might come out flat, unprepared, and go against this is a desperate Steelers team because they couldn't afford to go 1-3. A desperate Steelers team, which still has a lot of talent, still got a Hall of Fame coach and a Hall of Fame QB, and one of the best defensive players in the game, TJ Watt. Like, they could come out guns swinging because this is a must-win for them. So if we come out flat, we come out unfocused, unorganized, they could be able to get the jump on us, which they kind of did because they were up 7-0 for the first quarter. But we managed the game. We took our time. We grew into the game. We were just mistake-free for the most part. Solid football from the Packers. We ran the ball effectively again. Aaron Rodgers didn't put the ball in harm's way, controlled the clock, offensive line, clapping them up again. Still no Elton Jenkins, still no Bakhtiari, still producing on the offensive line. No Elton Jenkins, like I said. Josh Nijman, again, producing. We only gave up 3 sacks, and one of them was because Aaron Rodgers just kind of gave them a sack, really. Wasn't really under pressure for most of the game. Ran the ball well. A.J. Dillon, workhorse, 15 carries for 81 yards. Randall Cobb. All is right with the world when Randall Cobb is catching touchdown passes from Aaron Rodgers. All is right with the world. That's all I'm saying. Good to see him finally back into the lineup, because everybody was obviously making fun of Aaron Rodgers over the offseason, like, oh, you did all this talking for getting more power, and all you asked for was Randall Cobb, huh? And then Randall Cobb gets 2 touchdowns on your head top. So what's up? So yeah, just for that performance, for all the people that say we rely on Devontae Adams too much, he had a relatively quiet game. We still put up 27 points. Should have been a lot more, but we just settled for field goals way too much in the red area. That'll be a concern when we play a better team, because the scoreboard did not really reflect how much we kind of dominated this game overall offensively. And defensively, solid again. Again, 2 takeaways, won the turnover battle. We've gotten 2 takeaways in our last 3 games, and we won all 3 games, so that's wonderful. And counting technically we got 4 takeaways, because if you count their turnovers on downs, which are essentially turnovers, that's essentially 4 takeaways that the defense had. Very, very impressive. Of course, we were helped by the Steelers' putrid offense, or putrid performance from Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, goodness gracious. Granted, I only saw the highlights, so it's not really the full context of how he played, but, man, I mean, I remember when Ben Roethlisberger, when he was younger, this is how long I've been watching football. Back when Ben Roethlisberger was younger, his whole criticism was he never let a play die. He always tried to look for the big play. He always tried to do too much, which led to him taking sacks or throwing too many interceptions and, taking too much risks. I remember when that was like the main criticism of Ben Roethlisberger back in like 07 or 08 when I just started watching football, right? Now all of a sudden this dude is checking the ball down like a 2-yard swing pass when it's 4th and 7 instead of pushing the ball down the field and finding one of his vertical threats. Like, what is going on with that dude, man? He should have retired after 2019. Like, after he got that elbow thing in week 2 and he had to sit out that whole year, he should have just called it quits, man. Like, you're a Hall of Fame quarterback. You're going to get it eventually, probably first ballot. You got your 2 championships. You're, at worst, the 2nd best quarterback in the history of the franchise. Like, bro, you're a Hall of Famer. You're good, bro. Don't let our lasting legacy of you be this just shell of a guy who can't throw the ball downfield, who's unathletic, tripping over himself when he's throwing passes against the Raiders. It's just ugly. It's nasty. Like, I'm sitting here thinking back about how amazing Ben Roethlisberger was back in 2010 in that Super Bowl, and how terrified I was in that game. Like, man, if we let Ben Roethlisberger get out of the pocket, he will make something happen. We cannot give him enough time in the pocket to make a play, because he will make a play. And now I'm just watching highlights. I'm just thinking, who the heck is this guy? Like, he's just unrecognizable. But hey, I ain't complaining. That's a Steelers problem. We ain't got to play them for another 4 years, because we ain't going to play them in the Super Bowl anytime soon. That's for sure. But yeah, man, just really proud of our guys. Eric Stokes, a great performance. Got his first pick finally. He's improving week after week after week. So defense ended the game strong. And yeah, man, we just did what we had to do. 3-1, 3 straight wins after that week 1 loss. A good win against a quality opponent. I know the Steelers have a bad record, but that's still a very good team. But like I said, Hall of Fame QB, Hall of Fame coach. And we managed the game, didn't make too many mistakes, and we saw it through relatively easily. I almost forgot to mention, my boy Aaron Rodgers with a touchdown run the other day brought the belt back. And I'm pretty sure the first time he ever did the belt, or at least the first time I saw it, was against the Steelers in that 2009 game off a touchdown run. So one thing about history is it's going to repeat itself. You'll love to see it. One thing that was concerning about the game is injuries. Leading up to it, MVS and Kevin King were out. You could argue Kevin King being out was a plus. But during the game, Jair Alexander, all-pro corner, we lose him. Which obviously it's great to see Eric Stokes balling out. But on the other side, the all-pro corner getting injured. That shoulder injury looks to be day-to-day. It's concerning. It's kind of scary. We got freaking Zadarius Smith getting back surgery, which looks like it could take him out for a majority of the season. So the hope that he can come back in a few weeks, now we're looking at way down the line where he could potentially come back. It's concerning, having a lot of injuries, but you would prefer, if your team's going to get bit by the injury bug, for it to happen earlier in the season, because this just means that later on in the season, everyone's going to get healthier. So that means our defense is going to get healthier. Our defensive line is going to get healthier. Our own line is going to get healthy. Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins have barely played any time yet. And those two played at an elite level last year. Everyone's going to get healthier. And, to go back on historical precedent, which prepare for me to do that a lot because I know a lot of history. 2010, the Packers had 15 players that went on IR during that season. We lost key pieces. Jermichael Finley, our starting tight end. Nick Barnett, one of our starting linebackers. Brady Papinga. Freaking Atari Bigby, one of our main corners, got injured. So many players. Even Aaron Rodgers got knocked out of a few games that year. knock on wood there, like a whole bunch of injuries that year. But later on in the season, down the stretch, our team was healthier, fresher. We won 6 games, including the playoffs, to win the championship that year. So I'm thinking if we're going to get injured, if a player's going to get bit by the injury bug, let it happen now. Because later on in the season, in those late grueling weeks, our team's going to be getting healthier and fresher, while other teams are going to be getting more tired. We're going to be getting Zadarius Smith back. Jair Alexander will come back. Jenkins, Bakhtiari. Everybody's going to be healthier and fresher later on in the season. And we can go ahead and make a run and bring that Lombardi Trophy home. But even now, the fact that we're winning ball games while players are getting injured is a very good sign. 3 good wins. Yeah, okay, the Lions are probably a bad team. But these last 2 games, 2 good wins against 2 quality opponents. I know what I said about the Steelers, but that's still a talented team over there. 3 solid wins with all of our injuries, and I can't be mad at that. As long as when you win football games in the NFL, you can't be mad no matter how you win them. Got a bit of a tough game this weekend against the Bengals. They're obviously 3-1 as well. Joe Burrow over there balling out. Got a lot of offensive talent, which could be a concern because, with a rookie quarterback, you want to put a lot of pressure on him, and our pass rush still hasn't been great this season. Only 7 sacks in 4 games. But you got a few sacks on Big Ben Roethlisberger, but Big Ben is practically a statue back there, so it's not that impressive. Joe Burrow can move around a bit, so we're going to have to be ready for that. But ultimately, I should be confident. We haven't won in Cincinnati since 1998. I wasn't even born the last time the Packers won on the road in Cincinnati, so let's notch that feather on our cap eventually. That run's got to end at some point. Hopefully it ends this Sunday. But anyway, that's my review. Good to beat the Steelers. All the Steelers fans I know, hope you enjoyed it last week, because I certainly did. That's going to be the video. Catch you on the flip. Peace. Go, Pack, go. We knocked the Eagles and the Falcons and the Bears off. Now we about to cut Troy Polamalu hair off. Ah!